So happy Tuesday, everybody. Everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 31st. Oh my God, tomorrow is September 1st. And we will be tomorrow officially in the fourth quarter of the year. And I don't know about you guys, but if you follow your numbers and you're tracking, you already know that, especially in real estate, like we are, our revenue is trailing, right? So what we get in this month and the coming months is based on work that we've already done, no less than 30 days ago, right? No less than 30, generally like 60, 90. And so this essentially the point is, as we're rolling into this fourth quarter, we can get some stuff on the table, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of the fruits of your labor are going to be from work that you've already done earlier in the year. So congratulations to those that are excited about this fourth quarter. For those who are like, yeah, could have done a little bit better. Hey, listen, there's always an opportunity to do better the next time. And, each day gets better and better. So just do a little bit more each day to give yourself a different result down the road. Now, today's conversation, I'm very, very, very excited about. I feel like I say that every time we come together, but that's just because I enjoy real estate and I definitely enjoy the topics that we discuss. But today we're talking about marketing. And as always, a joy to come together and see you guys each week because I just love business. If you guys know me personally, you know that we operate a couple of businesses out of this space. And especially if there's anything related to real estate, I'm willing to have that conversation. But Title Tuesdays, if this is your first time with us, this was founded just from the basis of providing a weekly coaching call for our realtor colleagues to discuss the latest trends and need to know information to grow your business. It's really about growing your business. I found that there was a void in the space on really having a practical conversation with real estate professionals about how to provide the services that they provide in a profitable manner. And there's also a void in just issues that come up in day-to-day practice that when I get the calls, I say, you know what, I'm hearing this a little bit too much, or I'm hearing this very often, or you know what, this is the first time I've ever gotten this question, but that's a great question. I'm sure that someone else has it. So let's do a talk on that. And so the other thing is when I get those questions, it's usually or very often in a state of panic, like, oh, well, Raycole, this is it. So we're sending the release and cancellation. And I say, hold on, you know what? There may be a resolution to that. And so at one point I had a conversation with someone and I said, you know what? When you encounter an issue that impedes your forward progress, you have not reached a dead end, generally. You haven't. You simply reached the extent of your knowledge. You've reached the extent of what you know concerning that issue. And so now it's time for you to learn more concerning that particular issue or topic. And ultimately, at the end of the day, to the victor goes the spoils, right? We learn more to earn more. To the person that sees opportunity in a situation goes the spoils. I was reading yesterday and it was saying that in the Chinese alphabet or vocabulary, when they write the word crisis or chaos, or it's right here. It says the 2 letters are made up out of opportunity and crisis, right? Like it's in that one situation, because I have the book right here, is an opportunity, and there's also a crisis. So it says, which one are you going to look at? And it's actually from JFK. It says, when written in Chinese, the word crisis is comprised of 2 characters. One represents danger, and the other represents opportunity. So which one are you going to? That is 7 levels of communication. Can you see that? Where am I? Right here. Yep. 7 levels of communication. One letter represents crisis. The other represents opportunity. And that's actually not the first time I heard that. I actually heard it, you guys, a year and a half ago at the beginning of COVID, to be honest with you. People said that, COVID is either going to be for some people, it's going to be danger, and others is going to be an opportunity. This crisis. So whenever you hit a crisis, what are you doing? Are you backing up saying danger, or are you saying this is opportunity for me to learn more, to earn more? So there you have it. For those who we have not had an opportunity to meet, welcome to this space. This space is sponsored, promoted, powered by Title Experts, where we are ready and able when you're ready to close. So here's some of the features and benefits of working with Title Experts. We are an attorney managed firm. I, along with my partner, we manage the firm. We are directly involved with every file that comes through this company, through this firm, although you do have a dedicated closing team that you communicate with each day. Now, with that dedicated closing team, the purpose behind that is for you to always know who you're communicating with, who you should call and reach out to if you have any questions concerning your closing file. Now, with that, we also provide weekly status updates. If you follow me on social media, you probably see that we do a daily huddle each and every day, discussing each file that's coming up for closing. Again, one of the biggest complaints that is often heard concerning title agencies is lack of communication, lack of resolve of issues, and why am I hearing about this at the last minute? And so to get ahead of that, and also for us to be ahead of it, and obviously it trickles down as a benefit of the service to our clients, we do a daily huddle and we get ahead of every issue. Now, with that, that allows us to also be able to communicate to our clients, the realtors and their buyers and sellers, where we are with the file. So weekly status updates. And again, like I always say, because we meet every day, if we wanted to, we can send you an email every day, but I don't know if you want that. Helpful closing guides. Again, I say that title insurance is similar to like health insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance. You're like, I guess, so I have to have it. I guess I'll take it, right? But you don't really know what it's for, what's the process behind it, what are the fees and costs. And so we do endeavor to educate our clients in that. And then finally, rush processing. If you want to close next week, you got a hot deal, cash deal. As long as title is amenable to that, meaning you don't have any significant title issues, we are able to accommodate that. And really quickly on the screen is the team that makes me look good. This is some of the people that you would communicate with when you contact the office. If we have not had an opportunity to work with you before, when you do go under contract, you would send your new contracts to contracts@titleexperts.com. If you have any general questions about a closing or the closing process, you would send that email to closings@titleexperts.com. And then finally, if you want to chat with us, we would love to hear from you. Our 800 number is 866-5-EXPERTS. 5 experts. And no, we didn't say that because there's 5 people on the screen. I just noticed that. That's just our 800 number. Oh, now with that being said, for those who I haven't had an opportunity to meet before, my name is Ray Cole Jackson. I am the founder and one of the managing partners of Title Experts. A little bit about myself and my background. I am a Gator. I attended the University of Florida for undergrad, and I obtained my law degree from Santa Clara University School of Law in California. While there, I was the founder of the Real Estate Law Society. Moved back here to Florida, Miami, got my LLM in real property development from the University of Miami School of Law. I often get the question, what is an LLM? That's essentially a master's degree from the law school. So it's going a step further than your Juris Doctorate, getting a specialization in a particular area. You'll often find tax attorneys have LLMs because just the general knowledge that you obtain in law school is sufficient for you to obtain the degree. But to really be an expert in a particular area, it's encouraged that you go get an LLM, right? And then finally, I am a licensed real estate professional in Florida. Now, the reason that I provide this information oftentimes is because I'm first held out as the attorney. And oftentimes when that is the case, there's the assumption that, well, you only know legal. You're probably going to tell me every reason why we can't do this. And you really don't understand why I'm doing this. You don't understand my contract. You don't understand the process. You don't understand. You've never been there. Well, here's the deal. I always remind that I was a licensed real estate sales professional before I was an attorney. Always. I got my license in California while I was still in law school, and then got my license here in Florida when I moved back. So I only say that to say is no question is off the table. Any experience that you've had, I've likely had it. May not be the exact, but it's the same effect. And anything that you're dealing with, I'm sure I've dealt with it as well. So no question is off the table. No frustration that you might have had, no celebration. We're here for you. Just ask. Now, jumping into today's discussion, if you were with us last week or you've been following, You know that we're now having a discussion on business planning. It's a series. Last week, we talked about business entity formation. I got an email, a couple emails actually, from some who started forming their business entity. And so listen, congratulations to you. I am super proud that you have taken action. Literally, one of the best things that you can do is to create a business entity. We talked about last week where it creates a protection for you as an individual from your assets in the event that there's liability. And it also has its financial benefits, right? We talked about getting business credit. We talked about, had you taken a hit during COVID, now we're talking about not just PPP, but EID loans, because you are truly operating a business. And so we definitely want to, Charlene, congratulations. We definitely want you to not delay in taking those steps to create your business entity. And if you missed that class, we do have the recording on our YouTube page. Now, one of the things I mentioned last week, and I always mention when we talk about business, I start here by saying congratulations. When you got your license, congratulations, you are officially the CEO of your very own real estate company. You are the top. You're the top dog. You run this, right? Of your very own real estate company. And so it is important that you act accordingly. Now, in acting accordingly, what does that mean? Realtors need a business plan and systems just like any other traditional business in order to successfully service clients and create predictable income. No matter how big or small, if you're running a business, you need a business plan and systems to successfully service clients, to get clients, which is what we're talking about today, and create predictable income. No one wants a roller coaster, right? Businesses don't run from commission check to commission check to commission check to commission check. We're talking about payroll. We're talking about here's what we anticipate. Here's our financial projections. Let's run this like a business, right? And so one of the ideas and the concepts, one of the manifestations, the affirmations that I introduced to you guys last week, I want you to always operate and think each day, you're more than a real estate agent. You're an agent CEO. You are more than a real estate agent. You are an agent CEO. You are running a real estate business. And so, like I said, I know that there's a void in the space that real estate school taught you how to pass the real estate exam, but it did not teach you how to operate a profitable real estate business. It didn't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Law school didn't teach me how to run a law firm. It did not. Medical school doesn't teach doctors how to run a clinic. Dental school doesn't teach dentists how to run a dentist's office. It doesn't. It teaches you how to obtain the license to provide the service. But the systems and the tools and the processes and how to do that in a profitable manner without stress and without feeling lost, they don't do that. And so you have to now, depending upon where you are, Lisa said, amen, depending upon where you are in the process, you have to now get to the point where you learn how to operate a profitable real estate business. This quote from Jim Rohn says, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Formal education, the real estate school gave you a license to make a living. You are now licensed to go and sell real estate. But now this education that you're doing now and how to run this profitable real estate business, that's what's going to make you a fortune. And so today's conversation, we're talking about marketing. And guys, when I say we can talk about marketing for literally a year and still have more to talk about as it relates to marketing. Now, is it that amorphous that you should just tap out now because it's the conversation we're having today? No. These are the basics. And I promise you, these seeds are the basics. When they're planted into you today, they'll grow and you'll start saying, oh, that's what I should have. Yeah, you know what? This makes sense. That's what it's all about. Providing clarity so that things make sense. And then you're able to take action. I love this quote. They said, it said they muddy the waters to make it sound difficult. They muddy the waters to make it appear difficult. It's really not that difficult, but they want you to think it's that difficult. You know, when I say they, it's just hypothetical, right? They muddy the waters to make it seem difficult. So we're going to clear this out and we're going to get a firm grasp on what what should I be doing? What are the activities? What should my understanding be as it relates to marketing in my real estate business? We're going to hit 3 C's. One thing about me, I like to take information, take all this information and put it in its most digestible format, something that I can digest and then act on. I don't want to say regurgitate, even though I just said it, right? So the 3 C's of marketing: customer, communication, and conversion. That's what we're going to talk about. Customer, communication, and conversion. Before we start, marketing. What is the definition of marketing? Marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. It is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. So at the end of the day, one of the first things I start off with when we talk about marketing, I say, listen, how many people know you and know what you do? I'm going to pause. How many people know you and know what you do? Or are you a secret agent? They'll only know if they catch you during your marketing time block. How many people know you and know what you do? I think about when I had first left the firm I was with previously and started my own firm, there was a press release on the firm launching. And of course, made it to social media, and people that know me since undergrad, oh my God, Rico, you're an attorney. And I'm like, I knew you while I was in law school. What do you mean I'm an attorney? Like, I did not know this. So listen, here's what I want to say about that. You have oftentimes a master status with people. And master status is, this is what I know you as. Oh, I forgot you were a real, oh my God. That aunt that used someone else to sell her house. Oh my God, I forgot you were a realtor, Warwick. Gnarly, oh my God, I forgot. So you even have to market to the people that you're around every day, because that's not your master status. You're my cousin, you're my best friend. We work out in the gym together. We go get coffee. You go to my church. I forgot. Oh, I totally forgot. Now, with that being said, how many people know you and know what you do? Here's the second part of that question. Do you have enough opportunities, leads, people that know you to achieve your income goals? I really need you guys to really take this part in. So when you think that your 10 phone calls were sufficient for the day, this is a funnel. So this is all 10 leads. We know that every lead does not turn into an appointment. We know that every appointment does not convert to a listing. And we know that every listing, unfortunately, does not close. So is your funnel big enough? Is your marketing funnel big enough to have this type of fallout? Let's put a number on it. Let's say that only 10%, is your marketing funnel big enough such that only 10% of your leads actually convert to closed deals? We talked about 2 weeks ago or so that 2.5 deals per month could get you 6 figures. 2.5 closings could net you 6 figures. So if we say 10%, that means you need, we'll round it up to 3. You need at least 30 good leads, 30 leads each month. Do you get 30 leads each month? Let's talk. $30 new leads each month. If you're not, That's the first problem, right? This is the funnel. So this is the thing if you guys were in person, can you see my arms? Yeah, you can see my arms. So one of the things I used to say when we were in person on marketing, when you wake up in the morning, you know how you stretch your arms to yawn? When you start prospecting, you say, oh, am I making my funnel large enough today to receive enough leads to potentially convert into closed deals? So that's how I want you to think about your prospecting efforts. It needs to start out big enough that when it whittles down to the 10%, you still have enough to hit your income goals, that 3 deals per month. Now, with that being said, first C, customer. Who is your customer? Let's go back to the definition. It says marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research. We highlight that, market research. Who is your customer? One of my favorite quotes from Grant Cardone is, who's got my money? What that means to me is, who do I need to be in front of? Who do I need to be in front of? If Sally Sue is not my customer, she's not my ideal avatar, she's not my prospective client, I can hang with her from 8 to 10 at night, but from 9 to 5 or whatever my prospecting hours are, I need to be in front of them. Who's got my money? Who's got my money? If you're taking notes, write that down. Who's got my money? Who do I need to be in front of? First of all, is my marketing funnel big enough? Secondly, who do I need to get in front of to make that marketing, to fill that funnel with the right prospects? So to answer that question, to assist to answer that question, what is your niche? Everybody doesn't want to sell the same thing. Some people do residential, some do commercial, some make a killing on rentals. Like, you, just because you don't like it's farmland, what is your niche? Who do you serve? New construction? Who do you need to be in front of? Do you have a farm area? Those that had a farm area, especially now in the seller's market, they're reaping the benefits of that. And so you say, Raycole, what is a farm area? A farm area could be geographic, it could be demographic. A farm area geographically can be 33411 is huge here in West Palm Beach, but let's say you say the southern portion of 33411 or a particular community. But what happens with that community knows Lisa, because Lisa, all mails on that community every month. Lisa does open houses in the community. Lisa's going to call and make sure that the community knows about different opportunities. Demographics, first-time home buyers. That's my farm. Those are the people that I work with, right? So who are your prospects? And these are some prospect types. Expired listings. Why are expired listings and for sale by owners good opportunities? Because they've already raised their hand and said, I want to sell. Now it's up to you to figure out why they did not sell. 9 times out of 10, they did not sell because of what? Price. Because everything is going to sell at its appropriate price. Everything. Even if it's a tear down, the value is in what? The land. So you need to price it accordingly for its value. So we have expireds, we have for sale by owners, sphere of influence. Those are just people that you know. Renters, I think they're a huge opportunity because it's easy to do every door direct mail, and you can hit, especially a luxury rental, and you do a cost of renting versus cost of owning comparison for them enough times. And you let them know that, hey, by the way, interest rates are at historical low, which means you can get more house now for the same amount of money than you could have gotten a couple of years ago. I think renters are a huge opportunity. Relocation. There's people that specialize in relos all day long. Also, Oreos, those are not there. And obviously, I just want to put that there, but that market is silent right now. But we can't forget that at one point that was an opportunity, and it will be an opportunity again. It's just not, not at the same magnitude that it once was. Teachers. Anybody has done coffee and donuts at a school ever? Firemen, police officers, hairdressers, nail salons, anywhere you can get a captive audience and you say, hey, I specialize, especially, for example, let's use hairdressers. What do you think you need to know about working with a hairdresser? They're self-employed. They may or may not have been doing what we talked about, which was paying themselves with a check, so you know that you're going to need to work with a lender that knows how to work with self-employed individuals. So again, now we're just thinking, who is my ideal client and where are they? Right? Now, after you determine who your ideal client are, who they are, how are you going to communicate with them? So you know who they are, or who you would like them to be. How are you going to communicate with them? So now we're talking about market channeling, the marketing channels. That's our second C, communication, because the definition of marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research. We've already talked about who it is and why it's them. Now advertising, how are we communicating with them? How are we communicating with them? Well, the first thing we need to know is, where are they? Because that's going to determine how we communicate with them. Exactly. Sheriff's, prison warden. Here's one thing we know about those professions. They have the income, right? And they have the steady, confirmed, reliable income, right? May or may not always have the down payment. We can work on that, but we know for sure they're probably going to have the employment history. So where are they? This is important to know because that's going to determine how you communicate with them. Exactly. They definitely refer each other. Nice, tight networks. You see that? Nice, tight networks, and they refer each other. They absolutely do. That if you tap into, here's why, we may have some on the call, here's why oftentimes you have teachers who are also realtors. You have police officers who are also realtors. You have all these, like Lisette said, because they're part of this network. They have a built-in referral source. They have a built-in communication platform with these different prospects. So how are we communicating with them? How are we communicating with your prospects? This is just some examples, basic examples. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, if you want to do dance routines, I don't know, video, cold calling, mailers, social media ads, buyer and seller workshops. Those still work. You can do them on Zoom. They're actually more effective now because you can do them on Zoom really quickly. You don't have the overhead of the venue. You don't have to get food. You have more participation because people can just jump on. Events and even ebooks. Guys, I was like, you know what? This is so smart. Someone was selling a how to prepare your home for sale on Amazon. Now here we are chasing people down to pay us to, or spending our money to get in front of them from an appointment, yet they'll turn around and buy the book on Amazon. Someone needs to write a book and put it on Amazon. And that's what, an additional stream of income. And guess what it also does? So you guys don't have me going down the road now. Now you're an authority because you can say the author of the best-selling book on Amazon. And you know how you make it a best-selling book on Amazon? You charge $1.99 for it. So of course people are going to buy it, right? So you are the author of the best-selling book on Amazon, 10 ways to sell your home in 10 days or whatever, some catchy topic. See, this is So Lisa asked the question, what do you feel is the most profitable marketing source? What works best? We got a slide on that. We're going to get to it in 1 second. That's a very good question. So Gerlene said, go back 1 slide. Let me see. I'm glad you said just 1 slide and not the whole thing. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, video, and cold calling. All right. And then we said mailer, social media, buy, sell, workshop, events, ebook. Now the last, no problem, Gerlene. Now the last thing I want to say about these marketing channels is, again, this is not just wherever you want to be. This is where are your prospects. So for example, I have one of my realtors, she talks about how her community is older. And literally when she goes on appointments, they have all her mailers. Now the rest of us, we stop by the trash can on the way into the house from the mailbox, right? But those work for her demographic. Those work for her prospects. What your prospects are probably consuming social media more than, I mean, possibly, I don't know. I can't, but this is where the research comes in. Who are your people? Where are they? And how is most effective to communicate with your prospect? Are they on email? Then you need to be sending emails. Now, the last thing is you need to select 3 marketing channels and go deep. What do I mean by go deep? Stay there. If your prospects are like me, they stop by the trash can or the recycle bin on the way from the mailbox, and that's only once the mailbox is bursting with mail, you probably don't want to be mailing to me. Depends on what your budget is, because there is something, let me say this, there is something to be said about awareness, right? Awareness, because I'm seeing your face, at least I'm going to be aware when you eventually make the phone call, right? So if you're farming, yeah, it's going to make sense for you to do a mailer. You're probably going to make calls. And once you get savvy enough, it's not very difficult. You should be running ads in that community on social media. You know that they're able to track your people based on their IP address, their zip code, etc. And now they're seeing your Facebook ads. Again, that costs money. You don't have to do that, but this is as you go bigger, some of the things you can consider. But 3 marketing channels for you right now could just be emails, social media, mailers, phone calls. On this point, one of the last things I want to talk about on this point about communication is you got to capture the lead. Remember, we're talking about this funnel. If there's no way for me to capture them once they come in, they're just going through. Yeah, they see your ad on the Facebook, but what's the call to action? How am I getting their information? Click the link in my bio. Schedule a 20-minute consultation. Download my free bestseller, 10 Ways to Sell a Home in 10 Days in Florida. Oh, and that's a whole nother conversation. Again, like I said, we can talk about marketing for a year and still have more to talk about. Because what about if you have this particular, we say not even Florida, say in Palm Beach. Now you're really talking to someone, right? Who am I talking to? Whomever your prospect is, with your marketing, have a conversation specifically with that person. If you're targeting luxury renters, how to transition from luxury rental to homeowner in Palm Beach County, in Broward, in Parkland, in Boca, in Coral Springs, right? Now, here's an important point that I don't want you guys to miss as we talk about marketing. The idea of marketing versus prospecting. Marketing versus prospecting. This is one of the points that you got to get today. Real estate is a contact sport. Marketing is broad. It's shotgun. It's throw it out there. If it hits something, great. If it hits you, great. I just need to get it out in the air. Prospecting, in comparison, is like a sniper. I'm going directly in to the person that I want to talk to. What do you mean by that, Ray Cole? From this book, 7 Levels of Communication, he has this communication pyramid. I hope you guys can see this clearly. And so it says, as you go up the pyramid, the more impact you have on the other person, the relationship grows stronger. So it's talking about different ways of communicating. And it talks about the effectiveness of each type of communication. You see at the very bottom of the exactly. Marketing is like fishing. Exactly. Advertising, that's billboard. Maybe a commercial. But it's not as effective. Direct mail gets a little bit better because you're going directly to a person. Electronic communication is better because it's their email, it's coming into their inbox. People do check their emails. Handwritten notes, now you got my attention. You took the time. First of all, no one writes handwritten notes anymore. And you took the time to write a handwritten note to me. Oh my gosh. Phone calls, of course, are effective. Events and seminars are very effective. And then one-on-one meetings, which is what we're trying to get to, right? We're trying to get to the appointment. What do you guys see here? What's the difference here? It's more in person. The more in person you get with your marketing, more effective. So that's the difference between marketing and prospecting. Prospecting is direct. Marketing is indirect. So the next point I want you guys to make note of today is I want you to look at what you're doing right now with your marketing. And I want you to determine is it indirect or is it direct? Is it prospecting? Measure it against this communication pyramid. The more direct it is, no one likes to get on the phone, but guys, it's at the top of the pyramid. Phone calls, events, and one-on-one meetings. Like, this is what we do. Yes, everyone auto dials. Be different. Prospect rather than random dialing, right? So meaning dial with a purpose. Be intentional about the person that you called. So this says the lower 3 levels are the informational zone, best for use, informing or updating, right? So you're just becoming an authority, providing information. The upper 3 levels are influential zones if you're looking to influence, convince, or sell to do it with. I don't know about you, but this makes me uncomfortable because it's really causing me to really look at what our marketing efforts are. And this is it. If it doesn't fall within the top of the pyramid, honestly, we're not having the conversation. Events and seminars, that's what this is every week, guys. And the last thing I'll say about this, marketing costs more money, less time, and that's why people go to it. But prospecting costs less money, but more time. How much does it cost you to get on the phone? Financially. Phone service, if it's a lead source that you pay for. But how much does it cost you to send out a mailer? Cost you less time, you order it up, but it costs you more money. So this is an important slide. You want to rest here. And again, that's your homework. This is your homework. I assume that everyone is marketing. In addition to going through these 3 C's, I want you to rest here and say, okay, of what I'm doing, where do my efforts fall? You got to get as close to the top of the pyramid as possible. Okay, I'll let you breathe. Consistency is more important than perfection. I'm preaching to the choir. That's me all day long. Oh, wait. But what is that? That color doesn't match. Don't say it like that. Why is it there? Just get in front of the people. Get in front of them. You'll perfect it as you go. Consistency is more important than perfection. Yep. Lisa says she's doing mailers now. That's right. Now, the last thing is conversion. Now we know who you want to talk to. We know how you're going to communicate with them. Now, how are you going to convert them? Once you get that one-on-one appointment, once you have the event, once you send the handwritten note, how are you converting them to do business with you? What is your marketing message? Why should I work with you? Lisa's doing mailers. I hope her mailers say, why should I work with Lisa? In addition to, it's a hot market, interest rates are low if you're prospecting to buyers, properties are selling above market in less time than ever. If you're communicating with sellers, I understand that, but why should I employ you, Lisa? Why should I hire you to help me with that, to accomplish that? You have to be able to effectively articulate the services you provide as a real estate professional. Why should I work with you? And here's the deal, guys. It doesn't have to be difficult. Use scripts. Literally use scripts. Use scripts. You can use scripts in your dialogue, in your telephone conversations. You can use scripts on your mailers, on your handwritten notes, during your seminars. Use scripts. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to try and figure out what you should say. Use scripts. Nike, what's their motto? Just do it. It's on the shoe. When they have the commercial, they say just do it. They don't change it. That's what they want to say. So say it in all your different marketing channels. But just be clear on why I should work with you. I know what's going on in the market. I know I see it on the news, but why you, Warwick? Why you, Dave? Why you, Angie, Ray, Richard? Why you? I was having a call yesterday. There's over 1.3 million realtors in the world. I don't know how many there are in Palm Beach and Broward County, but it just goes to show you, why should I work with you? I think there's like 34,000, 50,000 or so in our South Florida area, 30K. There you go. I don't know about y'all, but I was like, ooh, 30,000. Why should they choose you out of the 30,000 plus other realtors that are available to service them? Figure that out, perfect it, and use it. Once you know it works, don't abandon it, just use it. The last thing I'll say is I remember I was telling someone, this woman said, and it's a funny example, but you'll remember it. Someone, when they're out, Starbucks. Oh, how are you? Oh, just busy looking for buyers from my sellers and sellers from my buyers. And what's the obvious reaction going to be that, oh, you're in real estate? Why, yes, I am. Nick just said, scripts are consistent and allow you to master a specific dialogue. Exactly. You're making a specific statement because you're anticipating a specific response. How are you? Oh, just busy looking for buyers from my sellers and sellers from my buyers. Oh, you're in real estate. Every time she says it. Oh, I'm just busy looking for buyers from my sellers and sellers from my buyers. That's intentional. And I'm expecting a specific response. So get your scripts together, put it on everything you do, put it on a shirt. The last thing I want you to do is you got to make sure that you follow up. You got to follow up. Once you've identified the customer, once you've identified the communication, in order to convert them, you got to follow up. You got to figure out your follow-up routine. Now, the first and most easiest thing that comes to mind is the automated emails via your CRM. I'm just going to assume everyone has a CRM. If you don't, you better find one. You got to find a CRM. That's a system and a tool to allow you to market on automation, to stay in front of your target audience on automation. It's not, you don't have to make a call. Again, it's not as effective. It complements your other marketing strategies. This keeps you in front of your ideal client. All right. So a quick recap. I hope I didn't beat up on anybody. When we talk about marketing, who is your customer? Who are you communicating with? Who do you want to work with? You don't want to work with, I know you don't want to work with everybody. I don't want to work with everyone. Who do you want to work with? Maybe you want to work with first-time home buyers. Maybe you're in the luxury market. Maybe you work with attorneys. Again, maybe you work with self-employed individuals. Remember, we just talked about that. Teachers, first responders. We all know first responders have a lot of income right now. Get in front of them. Now, what are you going to say? How are you communicating with them? And then once you communicate with them, how are you going to convert them? What is the follow-up plan? How are you going to stay in front of them? How are you going to move them to action? The 3 C's. Every day, who's got my money? What am I going to say to them? What's going to move them to action? Any questions? I kind of feel like it was a lot. I tried to make it as condensed as possible. And I hope I wasn't too rough on you. All right. I covered all the answers. You're welcome, Lisa. Hope that you're getting your mailers out. So if there are no questions, listen, let's do this really quickly. In closing, there you go. That's right, Lisette. In closing, here's our closing. Angie. I'm glad, Warwick. Warwick, I see you like shaking your head like, oh my gosh. It's a lot. Listen, I tell you guys all the time, I've mentioned before. So when I left my firm, I knew how to provide the service. I 100% knew how to provide the service on a high level. So I said, hey, let me go do it myself. Here are the other parts of having your own firm that you don't think about, right? The marketing, the hiring, the training, the coaching, all those different things come along with that you don't think about initially, all right? So that's why we have this conversation, because they didn't tell you this in real estate school. Now, with that being said, our closing thought, what do you need to start a business? 3 simple things. You need to know your product better than anyone else, know your customer, and have a burning desire to succeed. What do you need to start a business? 3 simple things. Know your product better than anyone else, know your customer, and have a burning desire to succeed. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Again, like we talked about marketing, it says market research. Who is my customer? Who am I talking to? And when you determine who you're talking to, you need to talk to that person every day. Talk to that person every day, that prototype every day. Know your service. Is anyone better than you in providing the service and representing a seller? Again, remember we talked about this. There's a skills and there's strategy. skills and strategy. So that's where the mix of our conversations come from. Skills is when we talk about contracts, we talk about, transaction to closing, those type contract to close. Strategy, we talk about business. So know your product, that's your skill. Know your customer, that's your strategy. And then finally, have a burning desire to succeed. That's your persistence, holding those two together. That's all we got, guys.